Now the reaction is precipitation reaction. What is precipitation reaction? When an insoluble compound called precipitate forms when two solutions containing soluble salts are combined. Okay, examples: PbNO3 whole 2. So Pb means lead and NO3, that is nitrate. So here, if lead nitrate reacts with Ki, potassium iodine, it gives us KNO3, that is potassium nitrate, and PbI2, that is lead iodide. Okay, so here lead iodide or PbI2 is a salt, and KNO3 or potassium nitrate is a type of salt also. It is known as the nitrate of potash or saltpeter. Okay, so in this example you can see that when two solution containing soluble salts, here is the two solution containing soluble salts are combined, it gives an insoluble compound. Okay, so here the insoluble compound is the mixture of KNO3, that is potassium nitrate or saltpeter or nitrate of potash, you can see, and PbI2, that is lead iodide. Okay, so this is known as the precipitation reaction. Okay, when an insoluble compound, here that is KNO3 plus PbI2, okay, gives us the compound insoluble compound. Okay, so that here precipitate forms in yellow colored, that is PbI2. Okay, so in precipitation reactions we get an insoluble compound. Okay, so here the insoluble compound is the mixture of potassium nitrate and PbI2, and PbI2 here in yellow colored is formed at the below. Okay, so this reaction is known as the precipitation reaction. Got it? Go to the next slide. What is exothermic reaction? An exothermic reaction of the process releases heat and causes the temperature of the immediate surrounding to rise. Okay, so when we take rice, potatoes and bread, we eat carbohydrates. These carbohydrates are broken down to form glucose. Okay, and this glucose combines with oxygen in our cells of our body and provides energy. Okay, so respiration is an example of exothermic reaction, as it releases the heat and causes the temperature of the immediate surroundings to rise. So the examples are given below the pictures: the burning of coal, the burning of wood, okay, burning of stick, okay, explosion of bomb. Okay, so in exothermic reaction, heat is evolved during the reaction. Okay, the example is when C6H12O6, it is the hydrocarbon, it is the combination of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, is known as the glucose. When this glucose reacts with oxygen O2, it gives us carbon dioxide CO2 and H2O, that is water, and it releases energy. Okay, got it? So this reaction is known as the exothermic reaction. Got it? Because heat is released here. So all the examples are there. Al, that is aluminium, okay, and Fe2O3, that is the ferric oxide. Okay, so when aluminium reacts with Fe2O3, Ferric oxide gives us Al2O3, that is aluminum oxide, and Fe, okay, and releases the heat. Another example is that when CH4 methane reacts with oxygen, gives us carbon dioxide CO2 and water H2O and heat. Okay, so all these two examples releases the heat, so that these examples are known as the exothermic examples. Okay, go to the next slide. Endothermic reaction. What is endothermic reaction? When in any process it cools the surroundings and absorbs the heat, is known as the endothermic reaction. Okay, so all the examples are there. Okay, in photosynthesis process, green plant absorbs heat to make the glucose, so it is an example of endothermic reaction. As we frying an egg, it absorbs the heat, and evaporation process also it absorbs the heat. Okay, so the decomposition of vegetable matter into compost is also an example of endothermic reaction. Okay, so in endothermic reaction, heat is required to carry out the reaction. Example, the example is when CO2, that is carbon dioxide, reacts with H2O water in the presence of sunlight, it gives us glucose and oxygen. So here C6H12O6 is the glucose and O2 is the oxygen. Okay, so this reaction absorbs heat, so that it is known as the endothermic reaction. Okay, notice decomposition reactions are endothermic. Most of the decomposition reactions are endothermic. Okay, I think it is clear the difference between endothermic and exothermic. Okay, so basically it is the diagram of the difference between exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction. In exothermic reaction, heat is released, and endothermic reaction, heat is absorbed. So in endothermic reaction, the arrow is looking inside, and for exothermic reaction all the arrows are looking outside. Okay, go to the next slide. What is decomposition reaction? Decomposition reaction needs heat, light or electricity to give two or more products. So in this reaction, a single reactant decomposes in the presence of heat, light or electricity and gives two or more products as a result. Okay, so the first type is thermolytic decomposition or thermolysis. Okay, so it is the example of thermolysis. Okay, it is an example of thermolysis. Okay, if we heat mercuric oxide, it gives us mercury at the bottom as a sublimation and oxygen as the gas. Okay, so in this reaction it needs heat, so that it is known as the thermolysis or thermolytic decomposition. Okay, so the examples are CaCO3, calcium carbonate. In the presence of heat, it gives us calcium oxide, CaO, and carbon dioxide, okay, CO2. As it requires heat energy, that's why it is known as the thermolytic decomposition or thermolysis. Okay, number 2 is AgCl. So Ag means we know argentum, atomic number 47. So here AgCl, that is silver chloride. Okay, in the presence of sunlight it gives us Ag, that is silver, or in Latin word we can say that argentum, and gives us chlorine. Okay, so this reaction happens in the presence of light energy. Okay, so that it is known as the photolysis. Okay, we will learn later. And the third example is, if we use electricity in water, then the water gives us H2 hydrogen and O2 oxygen. Okay, so in the presence of electricity, these decomposition reactions happen. Okay, so that this decomposition reaction is known as electrolysis. Okay, go to the next slide. So it is the example of photolytic decomposition or photolysis as it needs or requires the light. Okay, so here it is an example of decomposition reactions of or photolytic decomposition reaction or photolysis. Okay, so here it is H2O2, that is hydrogen peroxide. Okay, in the presence of sunlight, hydrogen peroxide breaks into oxygen and water. This decomposition is known as the photolytic decomposition of H2O2 or hydrogen peroxide. Okay, so this reaction is known as the photolysis. The last and the next decomposition reaction is the electrolysis, as it requires the electricity. Okay, so we are looking at the electrolytic decomposition of H2O or water. So the decomposition reaction caused by electric current is called electric decomposition reaction. Here, using the electricity, water converted or results in hydrogen, that is H2, and O2, that is oxygen. So this reaction happens in the presence of electricity. So it is known as the electrolytic decomposition or electrolysis. Okay, so we have learned already three types of decomposition reaction. One is electrolysis, that happens in the presence of electricity. Another one is photolysis, that happens in the presence of light as it requires light. And third one is thermolytic decomposition or thermolysis, as it requires heat. Okay, so all the decomposition reactions are very clear to you. Next part is redox reaction. What is redox reaction? To know the redox reaction, we have to know what is oxidation, what is reduction, what is oxidizing agent and reducing agent. Substance that loses electrons or gains oxygen or loses hydrogen is known as the oxidation process. In reduction process, substance gains electrons, loses oxygen or gains hydrogen. So clear? Okay, so we are taking the example, this example. Here CuO, that is cupric oxide, reacts with Mg, that is magnesium, gives us Cu, copper, and MgO, magnesium oxide. So in this reaction, here on the left side, it is Cu2 plus. Okay, and on the right side it is Cu. So decrease of oxidation number, so reductions happens here. And also in this process, on the left side it is Mg and right side it is Mg2 plus. So we can see that here it is the increase of oxidation number, as here it is the increase of oxidation number, so that it is known as the oxidation. Okay, got it? Because we know when it gains the oxygen it is known oxidation, and when it loses the oxygen it known as the reduction. Okay, clear? Fe, that is iron, CuSO4, that is copper sulfate, gives us FeSO4, that is ferrous sulfate, and Cu, that is copper. Okay, so in this reaction copper is replaced by the iron. Okay, here if here on the left side it is Fe and becomes Fe2 plus, so it is the oxidation. And for Cu it was Cu2 plus and it is Cu on the right side, so it is the reduction. Okay, got it? As Fe is a substance that reduces another substance and self gets oxidized, it is known as the reducing agent. And for copper, it is the substance that oxidizes another substance and self gets reduced, so that it is known as the oxidizing agent. Okay, to give you the better idea, we are taking another example. Suppose ZNO reacts with C. ZNO means zinc oxide reacts with carbon, gives us zinc and carbon monoxide, that is CO. So here ZNO reduces to Zn, so it is process of reduction as oxygen losses here, and C oxidizes to CO as it gains oxygen, so it is the process of oxidation. Okay, clear? Now ZNO is a oxidizing agent here and C is reducing agent here. Okay, got it? Got the idea clear? So here the example, reducing agent and oxidizing agent. When any agent loses the electrons is known as the reducing agent, gains the electrons, it is known as the oxidizing agent. Okay, clear? Go to the next slide. Already you have learned it, so listen carefully all this. Now the part comes, that is corrosion. What is corrosion? Now the part comes, that is corrosion. What is corrosion? Gradual deterioration of material, usually metal, by the action of moisture, air, chemicals in the surrounding environment. If we keep iron in the free air, it gets corroded gradually in the presence of oxygen and vapor, water vapor, that is moisture, H2O, and gives us Fe2O3 and H2O. So it is the example of corrosion. So we know Fe is the iron, reacts with oxygen in the presence of moisture, gives us the Fe2O3 H2O. This is known as the hydrated ferric oxide. Okay, that is known as the rusting. Also the corrosion of copper happens when copper Cu reacts with carbon dioxide, that is from the air, and in the presence of moisture, H2O or water vapor, it gives CuCO3 CuOH whole 2, that is in green color is known as the copper carbonate. Okay, so it is also the corrosion of copper. And the last one is corrosion of silver. When silver, Ag or argentum in the Latin word atomic number 47, reacts with H2S, that is hydrogen sulfide or sulfane, it gives us Ag2S. Ag2S in black, it is known as silver sulfide, and hydrogen as the products. Okay, so all these are the corrosions of metal. Okay, so these are the pictures of corrosions. All the metals are getting corroded gradually. Okay, go to the next slide. What is rancidity? We know if we keep any vegetables or fruits for a long time, then the fats and oils in food oxidized. This is known as the rancidity. So rancidity refers to the oxidation of fats and oils in food that is kept for a long time. Okay, so as a result it gives us bad smell, bad taste to food. Okay, so this is the fresh vegetables. If we keep it for a long time, it gets rotten position. Okay, so this food causes stomach infection on consumption. Okay, so this stress is known as the oxidative stress. Suppose we think is a as a normal cell. If we keep here for the long time, then this cell attacked by the free radicals. Okay, and we will get cell with oxidative stress. So it is the example of rancidity. How to prevent this rancidity? Use of airtight container, packaging with nitrogen, refrigeration, and adding of antioxidants or preservatives. Got it? Okay, go to the next slide. The last part is neutralization reaction. So what is neutralization reaction? A neutralization reaction is when an acid and a base react to form water and a salt and involves a combination of H plus ion, that is hydrogen ion, and OH minus ion, that is called hydroxyl ion, to generate water. Okay, we know in water H2O there are two types of ions. One is H plus ion, another one is OH minus ion. Okay, so basically neutralization reactions happens when we add acid and base. Suppose look at this example. When acid and base reacts with each other, it gives us salt and water as a result. Okay, taking the simple example here, this is the example of HCl. So HCl means hydrochloric acid. It is a combination of H hydrogen, Cl chlorine. When reacts with NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, Na for sodium, OH means hydroxyl ion, gives us NaCl as a salt, that is sodium chloride, NaCl, and gives us water H2O. Okay, so we can take another example. If we take nitric acid, that is HNO3, and KOH, that is base. Okay, so when base and acid reacts, here acid is nitric acid and base is KOH, potassium hydroxide, gives the salt as potassium nitrate, KNO3, and water H2O. Okay, so basically the sentence is when acid and base reacts, it gives water and salt. It is known as the neutralization reaction. We are taking the simple examples again. We know when the pH value is greater than 7, it is known as alkaline, less than 7 it is known as acidic, and when the pH value is equal to 7, then it is known as the neutral. So HCl, so it is the acid, its pH value is less than 7. NaOH, sodium hydroxide, its pH value is greater than 7, so that it is known as the alkyne. So when this acid and alkene reacts, it gives us neutral, that is water H2O, and salt NaCl. Okay, that is sodium chloride. So this reaction is known as the neutralization reaction. As here acid neutralize base or base neutralize acid and gives water and salt. Okay, so I think all the terms already I have discussed clear to you. Okay, so subscribe. Thank you very much.